Hello, Racine Bible Church. I wanted to take a couple minutes today and talk about some applications from Spencer's sermon on Sunday. Spencer was talking about the goal of having spirit-filled revival in our church, having our church bear fruit for the kingdom and make and train disciples both within the church and then reach out to people outside the church and bring them in to know Christ. And he gave us some ways that revival could happen. He talked about unity and humility in the body of Christ. He talked about submission to God-ordained authority. He talked about keeping our eyes focused on Christ. Some words that I had read and heard before came to mind about dying to self. It seems to me the only way that we as a congregation could really have that spirit of unity and a humility, a glad willingness to submit to the authorities in our lives, as if we're regularly putting to death our own selves. So here are some words that you may have heard before, but I have felt are really helpful. When you are forgotten or neglected and you don't hurt with the insult, but your heart is happy, that is dying to self. When your advice is disregarded, your opinions ridiculed, and you refuse to let anger rise in your heart and take it all in patient, loving silence, that is dying to self. When you lovingly and patiently bear disorder, irregularity, tardiness, and annoyance, and endure it as Jesus endured it, that is dying to self. When you never care to refer to yourself in conversation or record your own good works, or itch for praise after an accomplishment, when you can truly love to be unknown, that is dying to self. When you see your brother or sister prosper and can honestly rejoice with him and feel no envy, even though your needs are greater, that is dying to self. When you're content with any food, any offering, any clothing, any climate, or any society, that is dying to self. When you take correction, when you can humbly submit inwardly as well as outwardly, with no rebellion or resentment rising up in your heart, that is dying to self. And as I think about these words, my hope and prayer is that we would be a church led by elders and deacons who are continually dying to self. I know I've got a long way to go. I'm sure all of us do. But we need leaders who die to ourselves. We need congregation members who die to self. And as we do that, I think we'll continue to grow in our experience of a humble congregation, an obedient congregation, a joyful, unified congregation with our eyes focused on Jesus Christ. And we will trust that the Lord will provide the revival that we long for.